what's up? It's Sean Baligian.
What up? This is Joyce Bell here on the Baligian and Bell Show.
Make sure you check us out on the Woodward Sports Network. So what is up? Glad you could join us on a Monday morning on Woodward Sports. Always a pleasure to have this fella in the house.
It's good to kick off the week, young man.
The only Terry Foster.
What up?
What's up, buddy?
Nothing. Just kicking it off with you. That's all.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Lots of stuff going on.
You know what? A lot of people are going to catch colds this week. You know why? Because it's 33 in the morning or 38 in the morning. Then it kind of gets into the 50s, and tomorrow's going to be 82. Then it's going to be 50, and then 30-something. You know, people are just going.
It is amazing, like the temperature changes. I don't get sick very often, but you give me a good temperature fluctuation, I'm going to be congested for 2-3 days. I mean,
Yeah,
it's just that's the way it is.
rolls.
Yeah, it's the way it is. Kendra said, good morning. Hi, Kendra. Good morning to you. Jenna, good morning to you as well. It's funny. We were all looking at our weather apps because, Art, welcome to the club. When you find yourself looking at weather apps, you are officially old. So congratulations, Art. You're officially old. Let's see. One app said 85 tomorrow. The other one said 82. Mine said 81. It's going to be warm tomorrow. That's what we know.
Right.
Going to be warm tomorrow.
Well, you know, you have different services, and they have different whatever it is, and you know, weather patterns, and they look at different things. So, you know what? It could be 81, 82, and 85 tomorrow.
It could be.
Because, you know, in our northern regions, it could be 81. In our southern regions, it could be 85.
Do you turn on the air?
No.
Just same here. Open the windows. Open them all up. If it gets to 85, it's going to be warm, though. Let's be honest.
Sure.
Even with the windows open and all that, it gets to be a little warm.
You've got to get that like winter nastiness out of your house, like that. You know, it smells like plaid sweaters and campfire from being stuck inside lighting fighters. Like you got to get that out of your house.
All right. Here's the problem. In Michigan, when they say 81, it won't feel like 81.
It'll feel like 51.
Because we got all that dampness and coldness in the ground, and it's coming up.
Yep.
I mean, like, I fell for the fake yesterday. I said, I'm going to go for my little walk. It's 57. The hell it wasn't 57. It felt like 45.
I did the same. Terry, honest to God, like I took like a 70-minute walk. I was just like, I'm going to go, let's go. And honest to God, I would say about 35, a little over halfway in, I was like, okay, I'm cold. I'm
wind blows
cold.
on you. You're walking through all this damp ground and everything, and it seeps up and it gets you.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So, no, I'm a big fan of Art, exactly what you said. Open up the windows. It's a lot better to do it when it's like 77, 78 because, yeah, you get in the 80s, it gets a little – you don't have to raise your hand.
I know. I'm sorry.
You are so trained, dude.
It's PTSD.
Like, you should see him. Honestly, even before he starts to do this, instinctively the hand just shoots up. And Terry and I both said – listen, when Joike's not here, you don't have to raise your hand.
Joike's got you trained like a seal.
But here's the problem, though, is that then I get comfortable and Tuesday comes around and Joike goes, put that hand up when I tell you to. No, what I was going to say is, am I the only one in this room that when it's 50, even 45 at night, I open the window at night and I also have a fan on and I get it as cold as I can in my bedroom?
Yeah, you are.
Really?
My son's the same way, though. My son, dead of winter, he needs not only the ceiling fan on, but he has like a fan on his desk. And for the life of me, I cannot. I don't get it. I don't. Now I'm not a wrap up in 80 blankets guy. Most of the time, I just got a sheet on me. But like you walk in that room, it's an Arctic blast. I mean, he's got two different fans going on.
I don't like it that cold, but I like a cool room. And I have this blanket called Big Bear. and Big Bear just warms you up. It's like having bear fur on you. So when you wrap up in that thing, I don't care how cold that room is, you feel pretty snug, feeling pretty good with Big Bear.
I'm not the only one. There are a few people watching right now that are probably laughing, okay? You just brought up something. This is what happens when you have conversation. I have a favorite blanket.
Yes.
Period. End of. And do you know what? You call yours Big Bear. You know what? Mine is Blanky.
Blanket.
And
that sounds like a kid, though.
My friends make fun of me, except for Mike. Mike, shout out to Mike. Mike appreciates Blanky. But like, my friends will come over and like, there's a real good chance that I'll have Blanky kind of draped around me. And they go, "What are you, 5?" And I go, "Yes, I'm 5. I have Blanky. I feel comfortable when Blanky is around." So
now, do you have a little dog named Pookie?
I do not. I do not. But you are?
Yeah, it's weird. We're 3 grown men that have our favorite blankets. Mine is like a flower. It looks like a 70s couch. But like my kids try using it throughout the day. Like they'll take, and I'm like, "No, you put that down. That's Dad's blanket." You know? It's weird.
Trust me, my daughter knows the rule. If she wants to wrap up in a blanket, she grabs any other blanket but Blanky. I just said, Blanky's mine.
If I ever come to your house, I'm not touching Blanky. Now, I might talk to it, but I'm not going to wrap up in it.
I love Blanky so much. It's just this.
We're happy for you.
One day I'm going to bring Blanky in.
You should do the show with Blanky around here.
Come to work, Blanky. It's like.
Say it's a shawl.
Yeah, you know what? It looked like a vampire or something. I went with the brown cape. Yeah,
get your Snuggie.
Oh, Blanky's. Gosh, I just think about Blanky and I miss him. He's Kendra. Let's see. Tammy said, "I have my fuzzy blanket on the couch that I cuddle with every night when watching TV." Kendra, my favorite is my dad's. He used during chemo treatments. Absolutely. Everybody's got their favorite blankie.
Cool.
You know what we should do? We should post pictures. Like you put a picture of Big Bear. Mm-hmm. I love Big Bear.
Big Bear's warm, man.
Terry, you got some great nicknames. You've always had some solid nicknames.
I mean, you could go to the Arctic Circle in January with Big Bear wrapped around you, and you're like a polar bear. You're like, "Okay, what's up?" I might even jump in the water with that sucker on. It's ridiculous.
Good stuff. Obviously, it's draft week. We're going to be talking a lot of draft during the course of the week. There's no doubt about that. Terry brought up a point about Jared Goff that I can answer personally because, Terry, I know you asked the question, and we'll get to this in a little bit. Why are so many people down on Jared Goff? I will explain to you why I'm not high on Jared Goff. But first, you had an interesting point and you wanted to tie this into college football about the soccer Super League.
Yes. What if we did a NCAA football football Super League of 20 teams? Does Michigan and Michigan State make it? When you look at the last few years, Michigan State has gone to the Final Four. Michigan, I believe, tied for the division once, but then got blown out by Ohio State, 62-39.
Yes.
People want to fire Jim Harbaugh. Mark D'Antonio left Michigan State in shambles, and now Tucker's trying to get it back together. Are those teams that you look at, our 2 teams in the state, do you look at them as perennial top 20 teams? Because that's all you have to be in a Super League, because you know they're going to go 20 teams, shut everybody else out if they did something like that. Do they make it?
I think you bring up a good. If we're having this conversation 4 years ago, I think everybody, including Michigan fans, has to say Michigan State belongs. You know, I mean, they had that run where they finished in the top 6, years running in everything, 13, 14, 15, won 2 Big Ten titles. As you mentioned, made it to the Final Four. You can't include them now. I think even with the disaster that was last year, say what you want about Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh's had good teams. He wasn't hired to have good teams, but he's had good teams. Terry, I would say they're on the outside looking in. I would say they're on the outside looking in, though. Do you agree? If you're talking about top
here's
outside
why they
looking
would get
in.
included, though.
Okay.
The Block M.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
The Block M means money. The Block M means, okay, even if Michigan is playing Alabama and we're expecting Michigan to get their asses kicked, we're watching. People are going to watch that game. People watch Michigan and Texas A&M. People watch Michigan and Georgia. People may not watch, well, they won't watch Purdue and Texas A&M, or Purdue and Alabama, or Purdue and Notre Dame, except people in Indiana. So I think when you look at the magic of the Block M, you would probably include them.
It cannot be denied, the magic of the Block M, the brand of the Block M. But I'll tell you what, it also goes hand in hand with a problem that I have in college football today. And I think a lot of people around here are guilty of it. Just absolutely, positively living in the past. Like,
absolutely.
So what are we doing? Are we awarding or rewarding teams for success that they've had in the last few years, or are we awarding or rewarding teams that have been like Michigan or Texas? Texas is another perfect example. This is the year for Texas. They're back. Count on it. How many damn years have we had that conversation? Like,
it used to be like Washington used to be like that too.
Did they ever?
Oh, they're gonna kick people's ass, and they don't.
Yeah,
they show up now and then, but in sports, we are slow to react.
No doubt
For
about
instance, in Major League Baseball, if you ask most people what the big rivalry is in baseball, if you ask TV executives, what's the big rivalry in baseball? You know what they would say?
Still.
They would say Red Sox and Yankees.
Still, no doubt about it.
But they would ignore Dodgers and Padres.
Yep.
Who actually fight on the field, hate each other,
Even Brewers and Cubs. I mean, Brewers and Cubs has turned into a pretty good thing. So, no, Terry, you are preaching to the choir. I think I always, and I'm going to give a tip of the cap to our mutual friend, the late Drew Sharp, okay? Drew Sharp spoke with more validity than anybody wanted to give him credit for. Anybody wanted to give him credit for. And it's funny because I think the national media was late to react to the issues that the Big Ten had for a while, right? Like, we around here realize, okay, we haven't beaten anybody of consequence for a few years now. Like, nobody in the Big Ten, in terms of those big games against highly ranked opponents. And then suddenly, about 3-4 years in, then everybody, like, nationally kind of, hey, wait a second. The Big Ten isn't winning a lot of these big games and everything.
Yeah,
and
this has been going on since the 70s
it
and
was
80s.
real. It was real.
But you know what? We made excuses for the Big Ten. Well, they lose the Rose Bowl because they got to go across 3 timelines, and these are practically home games.
Yep.
But a team like Washington, that's not a home game. They have a 3-hour flight to the Rose Bowl. Maybe they're in the same time zone, but we used to make excuses for the Big Ten.
I'd like to see them come play up here in our backyard. I mean, how many times did you hear that excuse?
You know what? Who wants to see a football game in January in West Lafayette or Ann Arbor?
Exactly.
Nobody does.
Exactly. We'll continue this conversation when we come back. I think it's an interesting conversation. I think it's also forgetting some good work that some teams have done recently. Shouldn't teams that got their program up in the last few years get a little bit of credit? We'll talk to Terry about that and you as well. So glad you could join us Monday morning right here on Woodward Sports.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10 and a half months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
Hire a graduate
of Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
All right, welcome back in. So glad you could join us. Terry Foster in the house today. Joik Bell will be back tomorrow. I got to hit on this very quickly, Terry. Demetrius said the problem for the Tiger team is they can't score. Do you guys think that Al Avila's days as GM are numbered? I'm sorry, you're talking to the wrong guy. I was bashing on Al Avila before it became cool. The free pass that this guy's got in this town, I know I've talked to you about it, Terry, long before the season began. I don't get it. I don't. Detroit roots. We've been talking about all these wonderful can't miss prospects to the point that they've grown to mythic proportions. And so by this time, shouldn't some of these guys actually be here and helping this team out? And you take a look at the success of the Tigers this year, and it isn't from those mythical names that can't miss and everything. So, Terry, you and I were even joking about it earlier today about, if something comes together 3 years from now, somebody's going to wag their finger at you and say, I told you so.
Right.
And
absolutely. That's what they do.
It's the way it
but
goes.
I think here in this town, the fan base is looking to Al Avila like, all right, who is this dude? What's he done? My thing is, I don't think the urgency to win is there with ownership. And, I see the Tigers are running a lot differently now than they were under Mike Ilitch.
1,000%.
Now it's like, oh, we're gonna wait, we're gonna build it, and nobody's going to the games anyway because of COVID and everything. So I think they're going to be too patient. But that's the way they were with the Wings. Let's squeeze another playoff run out, even though this team has some issues. We're not going to address them, and they're doing the same thing with the Tigers.
It's just depressing to me because I've gone down this road so many times. You look at his trades. What did he get in return for trading great players away? When he could sign, who did he sign? So many of those contracts were horrible albatross kind of signings, and of course everybody wants to pat him on the back for shocking the cupboard full. Okay, where are the provisions?
Well, who's patting him on the back?
Oh, a lot of people out there, on Twitter.
Well, Twitter is not the real world.
Well, and the God bless them, the Mazes of the world.
Oh, man.
Guys were right around the corner. Right?
Maz is not a real person. he doesn't count. Tell me somebody for real who's giving him a free pass.
Yeah, that's
maybe Chris Ilitch.
You know what, Terry? Point blank, I think the media in this town until just recently, for whatever reason, didn't want to do a deep dig with Al Avila. Our mutual friend and columnist buddy, Bob Wanowski, actually today had a nice article where I applaud Wojo because I think it's overdue for somebody of Wojo's stature to ask questions, because we've had this conversation on this show 1,000 times, right? And hi, Steve, good morning to you. The easiest thing in the world is to call somebody a hater. Terry Foster's a hater. I don't listen to him.
I am.
Well, okay, what do you hate? What do you hate? The reality of which Terry speaks about? Or do you hate the reality itself? Because the question oftentimes is, or the answer to that question oftentimes is, you don't hate Terry. You hate the fact that he's speaking truth. I mean, really, and that's what happens. And I've dealt with that with Michigan football fans, as you know, Terry, for many, many years. And so what I always say is, why are you mad at me? I didn't do this. You have
you're a hater.
Right? And you have misguided hater.
Yeah, it's you only said it because you hate the team. There's
clearly,
no factual stuff, know. But there's people like Art. They don't want their teams to be criticized, not at all. But I think the media is in a tough position now because of COVID. They're not in the locker room. They're not talking to players. A lot of times, at least when I worked this, a lot of times I would come down on management because I was talking to players, and you would see their frustration. And they would tell you things that are going on, and then you would regurgitate it and kind of hang on to it. And then you say, then you had more of a platform to say, okay, this organization is screwed up, and here's why. Because somebody told you some stuff that usually you don't know about, and you throw it out there.
Absolutely.
Now you don't talk to players, you don't talk to the manager, except on Zoom. And when a player is on Zoom, they're not going to tell you the truth. That's not, sitting down next to them in their locker room and say, all right, dude, I put the notepad away. What's going on around here?
Yeah.
Then they will tell you.
Yep.
Now, don't quote them. Don't quote them because they'll never talk to you and they might smack you in the face. But you can use that as your tidbit of information. So I blame all this not all of it, but some of the Al Avila getting a pass on COVID.
I agree with that, Terry. I think a lot of times what comes into play, truth be told, is laziness. I do, and I know you and I had this conversation before, but I'll share it again. Here's some of the misnomers that I've heard. Okay, well, Al Avila couldn't spend money. That's not true. But I have no other way to say it. It was a situation where he could spend money because who signed Zimmerman? Who signed Pelfrey? Who signed Upton? Who signed Lowe? Who put these big contracts out there? Now, understood, that was a different ownership at the time, okay? But the way that I look at it, Terry, is this. How did he do when he could spend money? It wasn't good. How did he do in trading Justin Verlander, J.D. Martinez, these, studs, right? What was the return? It wasn't good. What has he done? Well, he's got a bunch of young players in the system. Okay, how are they helping the team? And that's where I get at. And it's just like, just do a little research. It really, Terry, it'd be one thing if this was 3 years in. I would be a jerk. If I felt this way about Al Avila 3 years in, considering what he took over, I'd be the first guy to say, okay, give the guy a little time. But he's had signings. He's had trades. This is, you're talking about almost 6 years on the job. Almost 6 years. Where are these mythical creatures? Where is Zeus?
I think what the reason he's getting this pass is because when you read, the scouting reports on their minor league system, it's one of the best in baseball now, rather than being the bottom feeder. And I'm convinced that when they had Osmus and Avila, their job wasn't to make the Tigers a winner. Now, we were told they were. Their job was to stock up the farm system, and then the Tigers become a winner. But, we don't care what's going on in Toledo. We don't care what's going on in Erie or Lakeland or something. Let them be 50-0. I don't give a damn.
100% true.
Let them have dudes batting 400.
Terry, and this is where I come back to do a little research, because when I hear about all these magical names, you know what my next point is? And I did this once on the air. I pulled up Erie, and I read their roster, and I said, okay, we all know the names. Let's talk. How's Terry Foster doing down in Erie? How's
Batting 195?
How's Art doing playing for the West Michigan Whitecaps? How's Adam doing for Toledo? And that's the whole Daz Cameron thing. Remember, 2 years ago, Daz Cameron, why isn't Daz Cameron here? You know why he's not here? He's not good. Sorry. Would you rather, and I know you can relate to this, do you want me to lie to you? What do you want? Do you want me to tell you that you have the prettiest unicorn on the block? And unfortunately, we live with that, and that's when people say, well, why are you a hater? And what? And it's like, no, man, I'm just doing my job. I'm doing my job. I would love to talk about happy things, wouldn't you?
But here's the thing. When you look at the division, is Cleveland great? No. They can't score runs either.
Can't do it.
Is Minnesota great? Now, they had the 1 year where they had like 5 million home runs. Now, they've settled down to earth. Is Kansas City great?
Nope.
No, this is a time where if you had the right players, had the right attitude up front, you can take this division over again.
Yeah. And the White Sox, the coronation hasn't happened yet. For as much good young talent as they have, they're kind of meandering as well. Let's be perfectly honest. Now, obviously, one of their big guns in Jimenez is out, but that's a story for a different day. So, interesting conversation. Appreciate that. I do want to get back to this the Super League thing. Can we do that?
Hey, man, sure show. I'm just here chilling.
This poor guy, I derailed it. But you know what? A good question from our Facebook users, and I'd love to get out there. Hey, can I tell you about our new friends, Art? Can I tell everybody about our new friends? And we appreciate you guys being a part of what we do here at Woodward Sports. Sun RV Resorts has over 160 RV and camping resorts in the U.S. and Canada. Guests can enjoy water parks, lazy rivers, mini golf, restaurants, bars, and even Wi-Fi if they want to stay connected, with locations from the Florida Keys to Myrtle Beach to San Diego Bay to Petoskey, guests can enjoy the outdoors at a Sun RV Resort. Going to talk some college football. Do want to talk about the draft as well. Terry has an indecent proposal for you as well. Don't go anywhere. Terry Foster in on a Monday morning. We're glad that he's here. We're glad that you are here as well on Woodward Sports.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. And at Hall Financial, we treat our clients like family. And our number one priority is giving each of our clients 5-star service. Our passion for 5-star service, combined with our expertise, allows us to find the best possible solution for refinancing your home loan. We take the time to focus on both the individual and the numbers. We're going to walk you through the process and close your loan in half the time of our competition. Go to davidhallmortgage.com today.
Hey, so glad you could join us. Woodward Sports, Terry Foster, Sean Baligian. I love your Super League idea, Terry. It's interesting. I don't know if people saw this. They're already talking about perhaps being the key and operative word, opening up the college football playoff. One of my biggest laughs in all of sports, though, Terry, is the guy that is behind the college football playoff now, Bill Hancock,
right,
was also the number one enemy of the college football playoff, a guy that said it was never coming. So to hear him come out and speak on behalf of the college football playoff and perhaps expanding it, it's kind of like Satan switching sides and being a spokesperson for God.
True, but let me be a very, very selfish young man.
All right.
I want expansion of the college football playoff.
100%.
But do it either 8 or 16 teams. I don't hear all this bullshit about, let's do 10 and give buys to the top 2 teams. How do you know who the top 2 teams are in the nation? If there's 5 teams who are 13-0, then you arbitrarily have to decide who is the top dog.
Yep.
And you may not know that until you get them on the same field. So I want either 8 or 16. I'm willing to go 8 for now, and because 16 is kind of long, but you can do it. The excuses they come up with are real weak. Oh, we're worried about the student athletes. They might get behind on their schoolwork. Well, what about the NCAA basketball tournament, where schools are actually in session? During the football playoffs, most of the time, it's Christmas break, Thanksgiving break, New Year's Day break. They're not even in school. So you come up with that stupid-ass language. Here's why we don't have an 8-team playoff or a 16-team playoff, because they're so worried about pissing off Orlando or Tampa or Miami or Shreveport, these teams that have a bowls that we don't care about, the Rogers Tractor Bowl and all that kind of stuff. We don't care about those games, but those cities have been good to the NCAA tournament. They've given them money. It's a vacation spot for fans to go to, and they want to keep the sanctity of the bowls. The bowls that we as college football fans no longer care about.
You know what's interesting, Terry? I was thanking you to the Lord for bringing up something, because one of the things that has driven me nuts, and my broadcast partner Joyce Bell will agree with this, when I hear people with a straight face say it's not fair to the student athletes, I literally laugh, because here's again the cold hard truth. Okay, are you saying that the Division I athlete is more important than the Division II athlete? You aren't insinuating that, are you?
That's what they're saying.
You can't be insinuating that, because in Division II, the playoffs, and you know this, Terry, you went to the championship game. The playoffs start in mid-November, and there are 24 teams. Well, now it's expanded with buys, but it was 24 teams 10 years ago when Wayne State made that run to the championship, and it ended the Saturday before Christmas. But so is the student athlete less important in Division II than it is in Division I? Drop the student athlete thing. You're not fooling anybody. Like, somebody needs to tell the powers that be, you really need to drop the student athlete thing. It can work. I'm with you. I'm not saying jump to 16 right now. I'm not. I'm fine with 8. But can we at least drop the student athlete thing? Let's just drop that once and for all.
Please, yes. You should ask Joik how far behind in his schoolwork did he get because they were gone for 5 weekends.
It was crazy.
They were the Road Warriors.
Yep.
So,
It was crazy. I mean, it was, and the strange thing about it, Terry, was the game ends, you won, hey, hooray. All right, where are we going next week? I guess we have to wait for this game to finish tonight. And let's try to scurry and get the travel plans together and all that. It's not easy to do when you're flying out, 150 people and everything. But they made it work. It's possible. It happens in Division II. And I know there are a lot of GLIAC guys out there that know that. The Division II playoffs are awesome. It's a tremendous thing.
And they have this new invention. I don't know if people know about them. They're called airplanes. And they go really, really high and really fast. So basically what Wayne State did, for the most part, is they left on Friday afternoon. They were home most of the time by Saturday night.
Yep.
And if it was a night game on Saturday, they were home Sunday morning.
Yep.
So
Really?
what classes did they miss?
It was, Terry, I mean, you could set your watch to it. Early flight Friday is when we would fly out. We'd get back late Saturday, maybe early Sunday morning, depending on where we were flying
And plus,
from.
I told my college-age children, don't be dumbasses and take Friday classes. And they're not athletes.
No. Oh, I
I
told
said,
my
nobody,
son.
you can go home, have a 3-day weekend, or do whatever you want. Go to school Monday through Thursday, and you're done.
Isn't that so funny? My son made the critical mistake his first semester, and like he goes, and you don't get this very often, but he called me one day. He was like, "Dad, I got to apologize to you about something." I was like, "What's up?" And he was like, I took a Friday class, and I thought it was at noon. It wasn't. It was really dumb." And I was like, I told you.
Yeah, you at the bar by 3 o'clock on a Friday.
You kidding me?
And if you do take a class on Friday, make it at 8 o'clock or
Yes.
9 o'clock latest.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, Don added, the Illiches seem like they don't care anymore and have been missing deadlines on property that they got from the city of Detroit. Christopher swears that when the time is right, he's going to spend money, that he's going to do the right thing, all of that. And I think at this point in time, there are a lot of people out there like Don that are taking the I'll believe it when I see it approach. Because, Terry, I think it's safe to say when Christopher took over, there was some excitement. Okay, this is a guy that grew up with Tiger success, grew up, albeit not winning a championship, grew up with a lot of success for the Red Wings, and he's a big hockey guy if you did not know. And so we are, again, 5 years in, and there are a lot of people out there like Don that are asking the question, what's going on? What are we doing?
Here, I'm going to pull the art. Let me raise my hand. I'm one of those people who are skeptical because even small stuff like Mike Ilitch wanted. Like Mike Ilitch wanted the statues at the Tigers. Now, that's not a big deal, but he wanted them because he thought it would enhance the ballpark. Mike Ilitch not only loves sports, but he likes art. Not you, art, but artistic things. Well, the family was fighting, no, that's going to cost an extra $200,000. He said, well, so what?
Yeah.
This is what I want.
Yeah.
So I want the Tiger to his eyes light up or whatever. So it was small stuff like that he was fighting for. The family's like, no, let's not do this.
I feel like it brings imagery to the stadium. Like, could you imagine that stadium not there, that field not there without the big Tiger statue people take pictures in front? And it's $250,000. That's a lot of money, but to the Illiches, that's not a whole lot of money.
He went overboard with the Tigers, though. Like, the Tigers around the stadium and the glowing eye and the glowing baseball and everything. It was because, Terry, I'd kind of heard the same thing, that the family was like, pull it back a little bit, pull it. Right. And he kept doing more. Like, he kept putting more into it.
We should have that everywhere, though. We should be proud of the city that we come from, and we should be proud of the imagery of the Tigers. And look at LCA. I feel like that attracts more people to watch Red Wings games. Maybe the appeal of it is kind of worn off because it's not brand new anymore.
100%.
But I feel like you need that as the image of Detroit.
Terry and I had a front row seat for Ford Field. And I love Ford Field. I don't know your thoughts, Terry. Just a beautiful field. It is. But you know what? The first few years, people would go because it was new. Maybe they hadn't gone yet. But eventually what happened is the product got so bad during the Millen regime, people weren't going.
Right.
We're 3-4 years in, and you get that late November game, you get that December game. I remember I walked around the stadium one time. They were playing the Bears. It was like a December game, and I talked to scalpers, and they were despondent. They were like, for a place that's only been here a few years, I was like, so what are you getting? They were like, nothing. And, you go in, there's 30,000 fans in there. It's like.
Right. I knew one of the scalpers. His name was Shorty.
What up, Shorty?
Shorty took a bath because he couldn't sell his little tickets. Poor little thing. He was a nice little guy, and he was just I just want to scout my little tickets, and no one was going to Lion games.
Yep.
Now, to me, the appeal of Ford Field was the warehouse.
Yep.
Now, that used to be the Hudson's warehouse, and one year grandmama bought me a new bed, and actually not a whole bed, but a mattress. And I remember them throwing the mattress out like the 6th floor to it, and we got it and put it on top of the car and went home. So that was cool to me. So the fact that the Lions are playing where I got my little stupid little blanket thrown to me from the 6th floor, that always resonated with me. So I always wanted to go there and maybe look at the window where they threw my blanket out, or not my blanket, but my mattress out. And so
Nobody's throwing
appeal.
Big Bear. Nobody's throwing Big Bear. I won't allow it. No. You can't
I don't
do
think
that.
you can throw Big Bear. That thing is so damn heavy.
All right, we're going to talk a little bit about the draft. Speaking of the Lions coming up, Terry has a question for people out there, people like me. First, I want to tell you about our friends at Northwestern Tech. Start a new career in an industry that is always essential, the heating and cooling industry. Learn more today by visiting northwesterntech.edu. Terry Foster in the house on a Monday morning. So glad he's here. Glad you're here as well. It's Woodward Sports.
We are here, downtown Fenton, my favorite Bridge Street Exchange.
That's right. And you want to switch up your wardrobe this summer? It's this easy. You ready, Joey?
I'm ready.
All right, you ready? I like it. You want to do it again?
Yeah, let's do it again.
All right. Ooh, Brixton. Nice. One more time?
Yes.
Ooh, I like the hat on this one, too. You ready to do it one more time, Joey?
I'm getting tired. One last one.
All right, let's change it. Bro, where's your shirt? You need new clothes this summer. Bridge Street Exchange in Fenton. That's where you need to go. Thank you, guys.
Welcome back. Hi, Terry Foster, Sean Baligian with you, Woodward Sports. Terry, before you ask your question, can I ask you a question? I'm being sincere.
Okay, go ahead.
You have been as close to this franchise as anybody for a long time, this Detroit Lion franchise, okay? Do you ever remember a time where the Lions basically are doing what the Lions are doing now? They're putting up their hands. And this is what I'm hearing, okay? We've sucked. We suck right now. We have to build. Because usually what I've heard in the past, Terry, is we're this close, or if we get this or we get that. What I'm hearing from this franchise right now, I don't know if you agree, is, hey, guys, like, we've been a bad franchise for a long time, but we're going to change it. And it's not going to be overnight. And we're going to get a bunch of draft capital for the next couple of years. And this is going to be a process, but we're going to build it the right way. Do you agree with that? I've never heard this franchise do that.
This is the first time I've heard it. Now, be careful. Be careful, young man.
Yes.
Now, if they start doing stupid little things like, let's sign this 32-year-old cornerback because he's good and he might get us a couple wins this year, then they haven't learned their lesson. What you have to do, and what's going to happen is the fan base, because people like me, I'll take full credit, I believe in this franchise for the first time in history. And I've been around here for I'm 90 years old now. I've never believed in the Detroit Lions. Today, I believe in them because they're talking about things that other franchises are talking about. They seem like a real franchise. They talk about taking advantage of other people's weaknesses. They talk about drafting to beat the teams in their division. They talk about we're bad. No, we're bad. Not we bad,
Yep.
but we're bad, and we're going to do it the right way. Now, what's going to happen is the fan base is going to say, okay, you are 2-7. We're pissed off. Now, if they start cutting corners and adding, people like Damian Woody like they did before, or Reggie Bush like they did before, just take your, sometimes it's just best, take your ass kicking and then move on.
Yep. And I'm fine with Art. How many times have I said this on this show? Okay. I am absolutely positively fine with the Lions going 5-12 this year. Really, I swear, you're not going to hear me complain. I accept it because, Terry, like you said, I'm so glad to hear you say it, they accept it. They accept where they're at. It's not Bob Quinn telling me we're this close. It's not fill in the blank saying all we need is this or all we need. They are basically telling you, and you're always going to get the people out there, for lack of a better term, let's call them Mazzes. You're always going to get the Mazzes out there that say, I think you guys are sleeping on this team and we're going to be better. I get it. I understand. This team's not going to be good, and it's by design, and that's okay.
But you know what's going to happen, and this is where it gets a little tricky. People are not going to show up for games because they suck. They're not going to buy their little Lions hoodie or their Lions leather jacket because they stink.
Lion leather.
That's when panic sets in.
Yep.
That's when you sign Damian Woody, who's washed up and fat. That's when you sign Reggie Bush, who's not as fast as he used to be. Now, if they start doing stuff like that, then you know what? I'll raise my hand and say I blew it. I messed up.
Speaking of raising their hand, Arthur.
Yeah, quick question. Do you think it's that there's so much change happening not only with the roster, but the coaches' changes as well, that we as fans look at it like, oh, instant gratification, we're going to have an amazing season? And if that's the case, and if the answer is no, we're going to have a shit season, then how long do we have to wait before we start getting into a positive direction? There's so many changes being made. When do the results of those changes happen?
Do you want one man's opinion? 3 drafts from now.
I was thinking 3 too. Now, what is happening is fans are forgetting that this is the Detroit Lions,
right?
Who have not been a real organization for decades. What they're saying is, well, we'll have a bad year and then we'll go get them. We'll be in the play. No, you're not. You're going to have at least 2 bad years, possibly 3, before you start seeing things, because this roster is really bad. It is. And the direction is really bad. And they haven't had coaching in 3 years. So you get a bad roster, badly coached, badly organized. You're not going to turn this thing in 1 year. And then people, the Dallas, but the Green Bay Packers can turn around in a year or 2. Well, that's the Green Bay Packers. This is the Detroit Lions. They haven't turned shit around in decades. So it's going to take a while, because you not only have to unearth the bad players, but you have to unearth the bad organization, the bad coaching, the bad front office decisions. It takes a while, because the rest of the NFL is not going to stand pat and just be mediocre. Most of the teams are going to continue to grow. So now you got to catch them.
I look at 2 teams, and I bring them up all the time, but I'm going to say it again, okay? People thought the Arizona Cardinals were going to wander the desert for years, and they were shrewd. They took advantage of a bad general manager. They took a chance on a young quarterback that looks pretty damn good. The other one, Terry, the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins, remember, they were openly tanking a couple years ago, and guys didn't want to be there because they were actively trying to lose, and that was the big thing. And you saw both those teams come this close to making the playoffs. And Art, to answer your question, and I'm glad, Terry, you and I are on the same page. You've got this draft. You have next year's draft with all that capital, the extra capital, that came from the trade, and besides whatever Brad Holmes decides to do. You have 1 draft after that. So let's talk 2 years from now when we are on the eve of the 2023 draft. And we can sit back and go, you know what? I hate to be Bob Quinn, but gosh damn it, if they address this and they address that, This team might surprise us in 2023.
But here's my thing, though. I mean, it's like being in a bad relationship. Like, we got to wait, 2 more years before we can break up? Like, when can I finally say, like, we've done everything that we could, I've got to move on as a fan? I don't want to do that, but I'm also one of those...
You're not moving on.
No.
And they know you're not moving on.
I don't believe it.
You're stuck forever.
You can talk that shit, but you're not going
Amen.
anywhere.
Right. Couldn't agree with you more, Terry.
Yeah. If like, for instance, every time, and it's never true, but there's always rumors, a team like the Lions can move, people freak out. No, don't take my Lions away. That's my team. Nobody's going anywhere.
With all due respect to a mutual friend of ours, I do not believe in the term Lions free. I just don't. I don't. Now, there might be a few people that I will personally tell. I don't know one person. Now, you have to remember me, okay? I'm 50 years old. My group of friends are obviously all around my age. I don't know one person in my life that did what you just said. That's it. I'm done. Now, I've had people threaten it. I've had people swear. I've had Terry Foster calling me up going, that's it. No, you think I'm joking? I am not doing this next year. I am not going to sit on the phone with you at 4:15 talking about this wretched franchise anymore. Okay, man. I'll miss those conversations.
And they got you. Here's what they say. I'm going to get rid of my season tickets, damn it. And then like 2 years later, have you been watching the Lions? No, I still got my season tickets because when they're good, I want to make sure that I'm right there to see this.
But I feel
You're
like
not going anywhere.
I feel like it can't get much worse than 0-16, right? It's like
I know, but I've heard people, say something that Bob Quinn did. It says that's it. This is the last straw. And I said, 0-16 wasn't the last straw? People walking downtown wearing hunting jackets wasn't the last straw? Marty Morningweg going 2-14 wasn't the last straw? Them hiring Matt Millen, then giving him a contract extension wasn't the last straw? What is the last straw? There is no last straw. There isn't.
Oh, hi. Look, ladies and gentlemen.
Here's another dude over here, Sticky.
Guess who's
He's
joining the
going nowhere.
show? Ladies and gentlemen, Stick.
I feel like Terry's personally attacking me right
No.
now. I'm that dude. I am. And, I've taken the abuse, and I'll continue to take the abuse, but you know what? This is my team. This is my baby, and I'm here for them no matter what they put me through. And if they ever took the Lions out of Detroit, I would cry. I would literally cry, even though they've offered me nothing my entire life except 1991. Outside of that, I got nothing to really hitch my wagon to.
Every time I say something bad about the Lions, guess what? He likes me. I think he does like me. But this motherfucker wants to take me to the parking lot and kick my ass. He does. You can see it in his eyes.
It's my family, man. Well, it's like when you gotta fuck up as a brother. Like, I can call you a fuck up, but I'm not gonna let anybody else do it.
Don't you dare.
That's my fuck up.
Don't turn that camera off, because I got what have the Lions given you in your lifetime?
Absolutely nothing. They've given me a football team to root for, which I feel blessed for because a lot of people around this country don't have that.
Terry, I'm going to try to. You know what? I'm going to try to answer your question. I had a lot of fun times going with my boys on Thanksgiving, and then there was that 3 or 4 year period where we would go tackle each other on the gravel next to Lely's out at the Pontiac Silverdome. Okay. But the reality was it wasn't about the team. It was about the camaraderie and the fun that I had with my friends. And Terry's bringing his world-famous ribs. Oh, my gosh. Tony's mom made homemade Italian straight from Italy sausage. Baligian, you bring your chili and everything. But it had nothing to do with the Lions.
Right, and Stick brought some pretzels with mustard.
Yes.
With his cheap self.
Yes. But, other than that one magical year of 1991 where any other fan base would go, well, that's cute. You won a playoff game. Right? But for us, that was
91, baby.
Oh, my gosh.
But here was your other thing. You had Barry. You could see Barry Sanders run.
Oh, he was something.
Right.
Gosh, it just...
That's the other thing they brought you.
You kids, you don't get it. You don't, you can't understand it. I feel like my dad now, because my dad always used to talk up, Terry, I don't know if you remember, my dad always used to talk up Gale Sayers.
Yes.
And I mean, he was just always. And at some point in time, it was funny because I remember, and it wasn't old generation like that. My dad goes, "Is Barry Sanders every bit as good as Gale Sayers?" And I was like, "Say that again, Pops. What did you just say?" But you couldn't help but deny it.
Right.
I mean, you couldn't deny it anymore. You had to confess that it was like that. So no, you're right about that.
Sean, I think, sorry to interrupt, but I think you brought up a great point. It's really about the experience and about the memories that come along with it. And anytime I meet an athlete or anybody who's had that influence in my life, that's what I try to thank them for. Like I ran into Rip Hamilton in Fort Lauderdale watching a Lions game at a bar randomly, and I sat there and I watched a football game with Rip Hamilton, and my only thing that I wanted to say to him was just thank you.
Yeah.
Just thank you for the memories.
How many times did you say yes, sir, to you?
Less than I said it to him.
No, I understand that. I have no problems with that. Here's where you lose me. You lose me when every August and July you said, this is the year. This is the year they're going to do it. Then by December, they're out of the playoff pictures, and then you're going around motherfucking everybody, all pissed off, said, this is it. I'm never going to follow this team again. And then by August or April, after the draft, you're back in again.
Terry,
and you keep going over and over and over again.
I call August crazy month. I don't know what happens in the month of August around here, and I think it gets progressively worse around here in the past 10 years. But everybody kind of takes a leave of their senses, and where on July 31st you're looking at your teams going, all right, the Lions are probably going to go 5-12. Michigan looks like a 500 team. Maybe Michigan State can get to 500. You flip that calendar one day, and all of a sudden it's August, and you're going 12-5 for the Lions, and the Michigan's going to be 10-2, and Spartan fans are going, this team can win 9 games, and it's something happens in August. It's crazy.
August, you should just chill out and stay at the lake.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because is August the hottest month of the year, or is it July? I think August is.
All right, go ahead. What is it? Is it August?
Yeah, August is always the hottest month.
No
of the
kidding,
year.
yeah? I don't know.
Maybe it fries your brain. I don't know.
Tammy said, the memories you made, just like the hockey fans at Joe Louis Arena, Lions fans sound like our poor Wing fans. No, Tammy, that's a great analogy. Joe Louis was a dump. It's okay to say that. We can both say Joe Louis was a dump and also say, man, was that place rocking. There was no place you'd rather be on a Friday night, but it was a dump. It was. Hi, Stick.
Just want to update Art with the facts here. He's reporting wrong facts, and if I'm sitting in Fish's seat, I got to get these facts right.
Jesus. Damn.
July in Michigan, 63.6 degrees. August, 62.2.
That's it?
Yep.
No, where are you getting your stats from?
That's the low. The high is 83.4. So that's the high. So, yeah, 83.4 is our average in July. 81.4 is August. So
Wow.
July is the hottest month, Art.
No, Art, you know what I have to say, though? Art, let me just throw this in there, okay? So my son's birthday is August 31st, right? It seems like every year there's one day just short of his birthday where it rains and it's like 60 degrees. Every freaking year right before August 31st. And the only reason I know that is, again, because of the close proximity of my son's birthday.
And it's saying fall is right near. Don't go away.
But listen, I want you both to look into the camera and lie to the audience and say that it's hotter in Michigan in July than mid-August. No. Maybe end of July going into August, but no, you guys are crazy.
Okay, you know what? I'm done with it by August, so that's why I thought you were right, because maybe it plays on the mental aspect. I start thinking about the cider mill and Blanky and putting on, the pullover or whatever to go outside and, do some yard work and everything. And we're still a month and a half away from that. But I romanticize about the fall so much that maybe, just maybe, I've turned August into something that she isn't.
Listen, I've been told I'm wrong enough in my life. I'm putting my foot down on this. Fish/stick is fake news. He doesn't know what he's talking about. It's always hotter in August in Michigan.
Yeah, be careful. You can get rid of your ass, though.
Yeah, that is true.
I wouldn't play too much.
I'm sorry, Stick. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the weatherchannel.com is fake news, Art.
Yes, it is.
All right, he's Terry Foster.
Wow.
I'm Sean Baligian. Terry's got a question about Jared Goff that I can answer when we come back. This is Woodward Sports.
Hey guys, I'm D-Mac.
Hey guys, I'm Pilar.
That was a little slow.
Right.
Hi, I'm D-Mac.
I wasn't ready. I was doing this.
Hi, I'm D-Mac.
Hey, I'm Pilar.
I'm Maz. You're lit. Hi, I'm D-Mac.
I'm Pilar.
I'm Maz. We suck.
You suck.
Catch us Monday to Friday, 3 to 5.
Every day, right here on The Hook.
On Woodward Sports Network.
Well, hi. How you doing? Everything well? Fantastic, then.
Okay, this is not Sesame Street, brother. This is the Woodward Sports Network, all right? My goodness. Hi, guys. Hi, boys and girls.
Well,
I'm
hi.
Sean Baligian.
How are you today? I'm with Blanky.
Let's talk sports.
No, Terry, you had a question about Jared Goff, and I think I can answer that question.
Are we tired of Jared Goff, and we haven't even seen the dude play? This poor guy is, I understand in the city of Detroit, the starting quarterback gets dogged more than anybody except maybe the Red Wings goalie. But this guy has not played a game. He's been to a Super Bowl. It's like we want to get rid of this guy all of a sudden. Now with the 7th pick, do the Lions dare draft a quarterback if one is available? I mean, a good one, not
what do you want me to answer first? What part do you want me to answer first?
Are we done with Jared Goff?
I'm not done with him. Stick and I have had conversations about this. I know what Jared Goff is. Jared Goff is a bridge. If you and I agree, and we've established that we do, if you and I agree that the Lions are looking at this and saying 3 years from now, okay? Mm-hmm. Jared Goff to me is a bridge to get to where I want to be. 3 years from now, I do not think, I can't say I'm definitively right, but I do not think that Jared Goff is the quote-unquote franchise quarterback and the quarterback of the future. Would it be in the Lions' best interest if he looked like that guy from 2018? Oh, absolutely, positively. I'll be the first guy to say it. But Terry, for the amount of times that people talk about 2018 being a magical season, and it was, okay? Look at his numbers. Look at them going to the Super Bowl. What I also implore people to do is look at how poorly he performed the last couple of years. He's been a turnover machine. He has been. And he's been a turnover machine for a good team. That frightens me.
That's true. But if you have a coaching staff or a head coach who doesn't believe in you and may not be giving you the right direction, wouldn't that preclude you from being worse than you actually are?
It's a great question, and I think one that we're going to find out right away. It could be the truth is somewhere in the middle. Maybe he wasn't as great as he showed in 2018 with the coach whispering in his ear every single down. And maybe he's not the turnover machine that he has been the last couple of years. I'm looking at the what have you done for me lately aspect of things because you know better than anybody, the National Football League is a what have you done for me lately. This guy has been a middle-of-the-road quarterback who turns the ball over far too often. Fantastic for a team that doesn't have any aspirations for winning anytime soon. Not what I want out of my franchise quarterback.
The only thing, if he had a lower salary, I would be more in tune to Jared Goff. But it's a possibility that if the Lions are actually a real franchise, like I'm saying they are, and shame on me for saying that, but they are a real franchise, then they will have a real team. They will have a good defense at some point. They will have decent wide receivers. They'll have a kick-ass offensive line. And then Jared Goff is not going to be placed in positions where he's got to take chances, where he's got to turn the ball over a lot. If they are a real franchise, like the LA Rams were, by the way, made a Super Bowl, I don't know why we've turned on this guy already. I think part of it is because we, deep down, most people are thinking, okay, it's going to be the Lions again. This isn't for real. The Lions will continue to suck. He'll get bad coaching, and he'll still be the turnover machine.
The second part of your question is fascinating to me because the one thing that we don't know, and I thank God every night that we don't know. And it was funny because in case you guys missed it, Brad Holmes had a presser Friday, and he basically said, yeah, we like a lot of things at 7, and we've let it be known that we're willing to move out of our pick. Awesome. Keep everybody guessing. Keep fan base, other teams, keep everybody guessing. Drum up interest in 7. But the one thing that we don't know, Terry, is, and if you trust Brad Holmes, and it sounds to me like so far you do, I do as well.
I'm trusting.
Then we have to take that leap of faith with him. What if he and his staff have looked at Trey Lance and said, guys, this is the best quarterback prospect we've seen in years. Screw Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is already at his ceiling. We think that Trey Lance can go like this. We don't know the answer to that. Terry, I think that the Lions aren't going to go after their franchise quarterback this year. They might not even go after him next year. I don't know, okay? But I say I think because I don't know what they think of Justin Fields or Trey Lance. You know, because if you believe that guy is all that, then draft him.
You better be right too.
1,000%.
I mean, I've seen a bunch of dudes who are can't miss, drafted high, and they stink. Jamarcus Russell was like that with his fat ass, and was just what was my man from Texas, Young. He can
Vince
run,
Young.
he can pass. You know, he won the Rose Bowl. And how did his football career turn out? I haven't heard much.
I loved Ryan Leaf. I openly admit it. I was one of those guys going back to that draft year, Terry. I thought that Peyton Manning was getting too much love because he was a legacy. And the real guy was that guy playing up in Washington State. Yeah,
See, I didn't like him because now this is a bad reason, but I was at that Rose Bowl when they played Michigan. I thought his passes were wobbly, and that just turned me off. Dude, throw a tight spiral. I don't want to see an end over end ball as you're trying to hit people in the end zone. He just didn't look right to me.
Yeah. No, I get it. He did some things at Washington State, but no, Terry. That's I mean, getting back to the Lions. I mean, that's I love the fact that Brad Holmes hasn't shown one card. I mean, think about what he's saying. Well, we like the guys at 7, but we let everybody know that we can move up, we can move down. Now, do I expect them to move up? Heavens no. I don't. I don't think that they're collecting all this draft capital to move up in a draft like this. I don't. I could be wrong, but I don't think that's the case. Could they move back once, twice, 3 times a lady? Yeah. And I think there's a reason that so many people are talking about that.
Now, earlier we were talking about the Lions doing things the right way. They said, okay, we stink. We understand that. We're going to get draft capital. We're going to get players. We're going to build it the right way. Now, if they move up, it means they have not learned their lesson. If they move up, they say, we're going to get our franchise quarterback, even though we don't have a defense. We sort of have half an offensive line. We don't have disruptors on defense, and by disruptors, I always look at defensive ends, outside linebackers. Those are guys that disrupt the opponent's offense. So they're going to get a quarterback if they move up. To me, it's like, okay, we know we're talking about we suck, but we really don't suck. We're going to try to patch this together, and we're going to try to be in the playoffs in 2 years. Bad move.
Nope. You know what?
Trade down.
I'll go this way, though. Like I said, if you love this guy, it doesn't matter if you sit him for a year. It doesn't matter if you sit him for 2 years. You know, if that's the guy, you really believe in that guy. Now, do I think that's the case? I don't think that's the case. I said it before. I'll say it again. I couldn't agree with you more, though, Terry, because this is – you made an effort to get all this extra draft capital, and now you're going to give it away to go get somebody? Isn't that kind of counterproductive? No, you keep that draft capital to use that draft capital to actually build a team through the draft, as opposed to, you know, the kid putting his finger in the dike trying to fill the holes in free agency.
NFL is young man's game.
Yep.
You get that young man in a position of need, and you let him grow. Simple as that. Now, from talking to people in the league, here's what I'm told how you build a team is you have to attack the opponent's quarterback. It doesn't matter if it's Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning in his day, or Tom Brady. You got to make that guy worse than he actually is. You got to rush him. You got to hit his ass. You got to make him think, the Lions are coming after me. I don't see them right now, but they're coming after me. What I see opponents do, the quarterback is patting the ball. He pats the ball because he doesn't know what he wants to do, but he's got so many options that he's just going to pat the ball and decide what to do then. You've got to disrupt the other team's quarterback because that's probably the toughest position in sports, quarterback. But if you allow a guy, you give him 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 seconds, he'll kill you. You give him a second and a half, you kill him.
Matt Patricia defense, shout out. Give a quarterback time to throw. It doesn't matter who it is in this league. They're going to light you up.
Yep.
We saw it. Terry, this goes back to something that we talked about last hour. We're creatures of habit. We sports fans are creatures of habit. And I think it took people some time to come around to this reality because I'm telling you, I used to talk this way 4 or 5 years ago. If people listen to me on the radio or television, the NFL is really simple today. And Terry described half of it. What can your quarterback do to the opposition, and what can you do to their quarterback? That's the National Football League today. It really is. You know, I mean, honestly, how much can you disrupt that guy, and can your quarterback dominate their defense? That's the NFL.
Or you got a kick-ass offensive line with a great running back who, you give them the ball, they're going to keep it for 8 minutes. And they don't care if they score or not. They've pinned you down at the 1-yard line. Or instead of scoring 3 touchdowns, they've scored 1 touchdown, and they've kept the ball for half the game on 1 possession. That's the other way in which now that's more difficult to do, but if you could do that, bam.
Yeah. No doubt about it. Draft coming up on Thursday. As a matter of fact, it's nice to have Stick in here. Hey, Stick, what are we doing Thursday night at Woodward Sports?
Chicken wings.
Oh, well, you can definitely get some chicken wings there, but we're going to be at the Del Mar in Greektown. It's going to be a live broadcast, a live watch party. Joik Bell's going to be there. Scott Bischoff is going to be down there. We invited a whole bunch of social media influencers that are all about the Lions and stuff to come down and party with us. It's just going to be a fun watch party. And we did one for the Pistons here in the studio. The Lions, obviously, draft for them is their Super Bowl. This is our biggest moment each year. So come on down. It's limited to 100 people, so if you want to get on that VIP list, make sure you message any of us here at Woodward Sports and we'll throw you on that list. But it's just going to be awesome. They have a huge TV behind us. Joey's going to dress up like the commissioner. Joik's going to be...
Is Joey going to wear a shirt?
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
We're going to have him dress up like a Chippendale commissioner, just the bow tie and the cuffs. But no, Joik's going to be playing Madden. Maker's Mark is making it all happen with some drink specials down there. It's just going to be it's going to be a fun time,
man. That's enough to get me in.
We got Terry now. Yeah.
And you said Maker's Mark,
Terry's coming down to the Del Mar. Can't wait. And as Lynn said, you know what the best thing to eat on draft night is? Some WAP.
I like that every night.
Draft and WAP, hand in hand. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at 8 Mile Vodka. 8 Mile Vodka, born in Detroit, is distilled in single 90-liter batches to allow for optimal quality control and care, then carbon filtered, aerated, and bottled at the perfect time to produce a subtle taste with smooth finish and a character all its own. It's an exceptional premium vodka that can be chilled and enjoyed straight or mixed to create an exceptional cocktail. Try the Moscow Mule. Really, that's my wife, my son, they swear by it. Next time you're out, ask your bartender for an 8 Mile Vodka or pick up a bottle at Meijer. And as always, drink responsibly. My next door neighbor, George, does a great job with 8 Mile Vodka. If anything, drink it because George is a great dude, all right? We'll come back. Terry's got an indecent proposal for you. Don't go anywhere.
Art. Good morning, D-Mac.
Hey, what is up? Glad you could join us Monday morning, afternoon here on Woodward Sports. He's Terry Foster. I'm Sean Baligian. Terry, I think I've heard this somewhere before, but you have a question. Remember that movie in the early 90s? What was it? Woody Harrelson?
Yes.
Robert Redford, Demi Moore?
Yeah, he was it Woody Harrelson?
Yeah.
Wanted to be with Demi Moore.
Yeah.
For the weekend, he took her to Hawaii. But I've been watching stuff, and I've been watching some. It's not dirty stuff. It's just stuff. But would you, if, let's say Woody Harrelson or whomever, offered you $1 million to be with your wife for a week, would you accept that indecent proposal? I know Art would
You
say
should get
yes.
a picture. See, Robert Redford was still like kind of a handsome dude. He wasn't like,
Wasn't creepy, Robert Redford.
Yeah, he 20 years ago, yes. Today, no. No.
Why not today?
Because I got the money.
You got $1 million in the bank?
I'm money bags. I'm Daddy Warbucks.
Damn. Get to
No,
know
for
you a little bit
$1 million, no. 5 million, yeah. Today, no.
So what is there's a point that we could win you over. What is it?
5 million.
5 million.
5 million.
Not 4.
Not 4. Not 4. 5 million? Yeah, have fun.
Is it weird?
Make sure the money gets in the right account. Here's the account. Make sure the money gets in the right account.
Is it weird that I want to know who it would be? Like, if it's Woody Harrelson, I mean, I like the guy. I don't know if I like him enough to bang my wife, but I don't know, man.
So it has to be somebody you like.
Yeah, like, I don't want, like, a random stranger, like, hey, I'm going to hang out with your wife for a week.
No.
What if it was like Tom Gores?
What if it's Jack Nicholson?
But Jack...
Art, I've been looking at your wife, and I gotta tell you.
Yeah.
See, she'd have so much fun with Jack Nicholson, she may not want to come back.
Yeah, I mean, courtside at the Lakers games?
Art, darling, light of my life. You don't need that. No.
But here's the thing. What I don't understand about this is Terry likes to ask the questions, but we never ask Terry the question.
Well, here I am.
So, Terry, for $1 million, I mean, to me, it all depends on the person. Like, I'm going to be honest, like, and I know that may be a little weird, but if it's a random stranger, like, off the street, now, if it's a celebrity, then I could at least say, like, my wife got banged by Jack Nicholson, like,
Because then your stuff could be tainted for the rest of your life.
Yeah, see, and that, all jokes aside, I couldn't do it. No way.
No,
I couldn't. No,
Now,
I couldn't do it.
If it was $1 million in crypto, then we could talk. And I'm sure Joyke would say the same.
No, couldn't do it.
What if it says not taxed?
Well, that changes
No, it would be. You know what? All jokes aside, when you said like tainted for life, how do you don't come back from that? That's not like something you can just turn off, right? That's not like if you're dating. If you're dating, it's like okay, big whoop.
See, I think guys can easier than women because we look at sex as kind of like an event, something we do. Women look at sex as an emotional thing. So I think more guys could put up, honey bun for $1 million and move on.
Dave's comment.
Our buddy Dave Hubbard from the Smoke Show, of course, Dave the Butcher, said, "I'm all in for $1 million. You're more than welcome for a month, and take the kids. I'll reconsider for less."
Okay, now if you take the kids, I can only offer $500,000.
Dave, are you in for $500K? You could really hook up the butchery
We're taking the kids.
with a bunch of stuff. Stick, what about you?
Well, we got a comment in the YouTube that made me laugh. It's by a guy named D-Town. What if it was Shaq and your wife?
Oh, God.
You're going to get a used catcher mitt bat, and it's not going to fit. It's not going to fit your hand, baby.
She would come back to you as a mammoth cave. I don't think you want to do that.
You'd be having lunch in there, dinner, like just You imagine Shaq having his way with your wife for a night?
God, stop it.
See, I feel the same way. Now I'm getting creeped out. Like it's no, absolutely
I want
not.
the tiniest dick dude in the land if I'm letting this happen.
I didn't raise my hand for that, I promise.
No.
But here's the thing.
Shaq.
Here's where it will bother you. Late at night, okay? The week goes by. You don't know what they did. Do they get to tell you? I feel like I wouldn't want to know, but you're laying in bed next to your wife. She's asleep. 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. You know the thoughts, the wheels start turning. And you start thinking about it, no matter who it is. I mean, it's just...
Yeah, but you know what? Time heals all wounds. You let it settle for a month, and then you go back at it. Forget everything.
Terry, you're telling me that a month later you just, poof, I just forgot about it. No.
Yeah, because I got my $1 million, and I'm buying myself some new outfits. I probably taking her to Hawaii, maybe around the world, Paris.
But is that the money you really want to be spending? Like, you know you're taking her to Paris because some other dude dicked her down, man.
Well, are you saying not to spend the money? Then you wouldn't do it
Not
at all.
on her.
You're not going to spend the money.
No, see, I've had friends that like they get in fight with they get in fights with their girls and they'll go out and buy things to spite them. Like I have a buddy who went and bought an expensive car because he got in a fight with his girl, wanted to do something. Now every time he drives that car, what does he think of? The fight he had with his girl.
Yeah.
That was Stick. That was that was the most underrated line during that entire dissertation. Is when you said, "I'll spend the money, but not on her. She did the work."
That's right.
Yeah, you did the work. I get the money, right?
Y'all should split it.
Hey, if I'm pimping her, I'm gonna pimp her. Like, pimps don't give out free money.
You can't take her to Paris and have a good time?
No.
Dave said $500,000 bingo. Take the wife and kids, and he's doing it. Oh, Dave, we are gonna have a smoke show? Oh, come over. Well, I got it covered at my house.
Back in the day, if they would have taken the wife and the kids, I'd have to pay them.
Yeah.
That is true.
Lynn asked Terry, would you allow it? Would you do it?
I'd do it.
Would you really?
Yes. As long as it's not taxed.
I feel like if any one of our wives or girlfriends are watching this, they're not a piece of meat, Terry. That is a person with feelings.
Wait. We're skipping over the most important thing of what Terry just said. As long as it's not taxed. He doesn't give a shit otherwise. The taxing is what would be the deal breaker.
Taxed, you keeping your ass at home. I'm not doing it.
And you're only getting back like $600K, if it's taxed.
That's right.
Yeah.
Then it's not worth it
Yeah.
to me.
Probably about, 615.
Sean, your wife should be proud of you because you put a higher price tag on her.
Now, you know what, though? All jokes aside, I couldn't do it.
couldn't
I
either.
know
No.
me.
No.
I know me. I'd be cool for a month. I'd be cool for 2 months. But then there would be that day or that night where I'd start thinking about it, and I'd be like, nah, I gotta
Hang on,
I gotta pull.
What if you're not getting laid as it is right now? Then yeah, take her. I'm getting $1 million either way. Like, go. You know what? Yeah, go ahead.
Nah,
See, I'm the exact opposite. I would probably think about it the first few nights, and then it would just gradually go away.
How? Another man took your wife for a
couldn't do
week,
it,
and that
dude.
doesn't
Yeah, I
go
know,
away.
but I got my money, and we can vacation. We can buy a better house. We can do a lot of stuff. We can live on the lake.
What if she looks you in the eyes one day and says, "I miss him"?
She won't.
You don't. You
Because she'll like me better than him.
Terry, what if your wife yells out, "Oh, Shaq"?
And I'll say, oh, shit.
Yeah.
That won't happen.
See, now Dave said his wife is listening and said she would love the change, and so would I. Money, 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 money.
But you
if
don't
you
know.
both
See,
agree
you
to it,
have to have confidence in yourself.
It's not about confidence. It's someone else railing my wife
For a week.
for a week.
For a week.
For
Right.
a week.
A week. What if she just like, and this is where the confidence part comes in, because what if she's just like, listen, I had a better time with him, keep your $1 million, I'm out, I'm going with Shaq to the Caribbean.
She won't say that, but if she does,
No way.
I'll give myself a
Here's
30-year-old.
the ultimate comment. The
All
ultimate
jokes.
comment. Dave, Chef Dave, here it is. I wasn't her first. So, yeah, I mean, if you look at it in those terms, like,
That's
hey,
true.
She's been with other people, I've been with other people. But if I'm in the relationship, that just...
When I was younger and I was less financially secure, I think I would seriously consider it. Now, no. I wouldn't do it.
What about for a Lions Super Bowl?
Oh, God.
Here's my house. Take them all. Whole thing. It's all yours. Go ahead. Let me take the truck. I can sleep in the bed of my truck, but other than that, everything's
for
yours.
Lions Super Bowl, nah, you ain't touching my woman. Nah, that don't mean that much to me.
But you can watch it in Paris.
Yeah, but I could.
All right, so the flip side to that is if we have that conversation, then the question comes up, if you got the vaunted hall pass.
And I got my hall pass.
If you got the hall pass, all right. I did this so you get a hall pass. Who'd you pick? All right, we'll talk about that when we come back. Glad you could join us, Terry Foster, Sean Baligian, Woodward Sports.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. And at Hall Financial, we treat our clients like family. And our number one priority is giving each of our clients 5-star service. Our passion for 5-star service, combined with our expertise, allows us to find the best possible solution for refinancing your home loan. We take the time to focus on both the individual and the numbers. We're going to walk you through the process and close your loan in half the time of our competition. Go to davidhallmortgage.com today.
You know, as I've gotten older, Terry, when you pose this question about hall pass, okay? Not that long ago, I had a list, and the list was a mile long of celebrities that, oh my gosh, and everything. And so when you pose this question, I thought about it, and the list isn't very long now. It's weird. A few years ago, the list was this long, but the list isn't very long now. I got to be honest with you, it really isn't.
As you get older, you're used to it. You're used to sex. When you're young, it's like, damn, I got to get sex this weekend. Yeah, I'm going out to the club, or I'm going out I got to get something. Then when you get older, it's like it becomes. I'm not saying it becomes old hat, but you're not jumping up and down like,
sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna get laid tonight.
Sure,
it's
yeah,
like, yeah, I might find a little something. But my wife and I have already talked about this.
You've had the conversation.
We've had the conversation.
Okay.
I get a hall pass with Janet Jackson. Janet Jackson before she got,
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, what is Janet? So you're not
Janet
talking
Jackson
about
used to be-
2021?
No.
Oh, she was unbelievable.
Yeah, we're talking about Rhythm Nation.
She was unbelievable. There's no two ways about that. Janet, back in the day, was unbelievable.
Right. A little weird.
If Janet, from the album If, that's
Yes.
the Janet
Yes.
we're talking about, right?
Yes.
As long as she doesn't talk.
Well, that's with everybody, right?
Janet can't talk.
All right.
What?
You know what? I thought to myself today, I mean, I'm not joking. I was racking my brain this morning, and there are a lot of, like, yesteryear people, like Jennifer Love Hewitt circa 15 years ago and things like that. But I kept it in the context of today, and I don't know, maybe the kids know who. Do you know who the English actor Lily James is?
I'm not familiar with her.
I am absolutely, totally smitten with her. Did you Mamma Mia 2? She's beautiful. Absolutely. She played young Donna.
That's not the chubby girl, is it? That's
There
somebody.
she is.
Oh, there she is.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
She's just, I don't know what it is about that girl. She destroys me. So,
She's got that kiss my ass look about her a little bit.
yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. You think Shaq did damage to your wife? Wait till I get a hold of you.
Hey, proud of you.
Yeah, so Lily James. I think that's where I'd go.
Is there a female athlete you would want to at least inquire about getting a hall pass? Because that's a little bit tougher, because some of them look kind of hard and rough.
Who is that girl on social media who plays softball for Oregon? Do you know who I'm talking about?
That whole team is a smoke show,
Yeah,
man.
the one girl that plays, she's always
blonde
posting,
chick, right?
Yeah, and I think she's dating some dude from the Brewers. She's like one of those girls, like, you're not real. She's like that hot.
Right.
I don't even like watching her videos.
You know
Look
who's
at-
bad?
Come on,
Michaela
knock it
Maroney.
off already.
You guys remember Michaela Maroney, the
Yes.
little tumbler for the USA Olympic team?
Yes.
She's bad as hell now.
Yeah.
So you got to, they've upgraded in LPGA. They got some smokers on there. Now, they got
Big
some
time.
heifers, but they got some who are really fine.
Well, you know what's crazy? I was talking to some golf fans last night, as a matter of fact, and one of the things that everybody's taking care of themselves on the tour now. Like, you look at you don't find the dump trucks anymore. There used to be some Craig Stadler penguin-looking dudes. Everybody's taking care of themselves.
Yeah, and
now.
they don't wear the little lesbian pants anymore. Even if you have a figure, it just ruins it.
Kennedy said, yes, stunning. I'm obsessed. Kennedy, is that about Lily James? She's absolutely beautiful. I don't like it. The funny thing is, Terry, she simultaneously has that look that you described, and yet when she smiles, she has this beaming smile that just lights up the room. She's yeah.
Okay, you smitten.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. I openly admit it. Kennedy said, Sean, dump trucks are good now. It means you have a fat ass. Keep up. I can't. Come on, I'm 70. I don't know these things anymore.
No. Things have changed. A fat ass is an asset now. Pardon the pun. So,
still don't like them. Don't know what to tell you.
Except white guys don't like fat asses as much as other dudes.
No. Truth. We like pumpkin pie, but I still can't get over that. That's been in my head for like
white guys like pumpkin pie and flat asses. We like sweet potato pie and plump asses.
All right,
and nothing's wrong with that.
No,
you know,
absolutely. To each their own. Absolutely. Arthur, is there?
Yeah, I feel like this is gonna get me in trouble because with this hall pass. She's famous, but you guys might not recognize her. So there's two. Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah.
She would be up there. And this girl that I watch on Snapchat every once in a while, and I don't pay for her Snapchat. She hosts the channel on IGN, which is a gaming channel. Her name's Sydney Goodman. So that would be...
She's an attractive young lady, yes.
So, yeah. Which, if I could say, just to defend myself, she looks a lot like my wife. So... You know,
can I share something with you? And I hope you don't get mad at me.
I would never.
Because I loved Parks and Rec. I absolutely detested her character on Parks and Rec. So I can't look at Aubrey Plaza for anything other than her character on Parks and Rec.
Can I say, you want to know what? It's her personality. Like, and when she does late night interviews, she has like this dry humor that is just like I find very attractive. So there you go.
All right, Stick.
Uh-oh.
Stick wants
hall
part
pass.
of this.
Hall pass.
No, I don't mind. My wife already knows who my hall pass is. It's Natalie Portman.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love me some Natalie Portman. She's smart. She's beautiful. She's sexy. She's the complete package, if you ask me. But my funny hall pass story is when I got married, wife and I had this conversation. She picks the dude, Paul Walker. Do you guys know Paul Walker from Fast and Furious?
Yeah.
The day Paul Walker died, I ran around the house like I won the Super Bowl. Because her hall pass was off the planet, baby, and there's no going back.
Yeah, like that was going to happen.
Hey, it doesn't matter. And now it's not going to happen no matter what happens.
Too.
Yep, he gone.
So I don't like dudes with blue eyes.
Hey, what the hell?
What guy? What guy?
I'm sitting right here, Terry.
Well, if you let me finish,
his eyes. Put that picture back here.
But what guy with blue eyes is ugly?
Look at that dude. Like he literally looks like he could fire like lasers out of his eyes. Look at those eyes.
I call that? I call that Siberian husky look because they're so blue.
Yeah.
Like it's just like you get lost in their eyes. Yeah. I'm not saying that I get lost in Paul Walker's eyes. I'm not saying
it's okay.
that. I'm just.
That's all right.
It's all right, Art. We're all friends here.
Yeah. Anyway.
If you like him, it's okay.
Right.
Nothing wrong with that anymore.
Can we go around the room real quick? And I think we have enough time and do a male celebrity crush because I'll tell you who mine is. It's Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy has always been a good-looking dude. So I just, I didn't know if you guys wanted to do that or not.
No, we didn't.
Okay.
That's a tough way to convince us that you don't find Paul Walker attractive by pivoting to another man you find attractive.
You know what, Art? I don't want you to feel alone. Colonel Harlan Sanders.
All right. Here's mine. Burger King. I love that guy.
Okay, now you guys are...
Come on, Stick. Finish strong, baby. Finish strong.
Come on, Fish. I call him Fish.
I've always been a fan of guys with big feet, so Ronald McDonald, let's go, baby.
Thanks, guys. Really appreciate you.
You clown.
Listen, Colonel Sanders, I don't need you to jump in bed with me. Can you get in the kitchen? I swear I won't look at your 11 herbs and spices. Just make a nice big lunch for me. Thanks, bro. Be the greatest day ever. You kidding me?
Sean, there's not a single celebrity dude that you're like, man, he's a good-looking dude. Come on.
You know what? When I
Not to have a crush
you know what?
on.
No, we used to joke about Colin Farrell. Colin Farrell back in the day, Irish lad. I always used to say this to my wife, and she'd rip on me. I'd go, "That is a handsome dude," and she'd be like, "You got a crush on Colin Farrell?" And I'd go, "I think I do." Hey, dude, look at him.
I don't have man crushes, but I can admit if a dude is good looking. But it's not like I'm like, hey, man,
No,
I wish I was you.
Well, yeah, but you also think that Steve Harvey is funny. So, I mean, come on. We're talking opinions
I like
here.
Steve Harvey. I don't care what you say.
Ugh.
Steve Harvey should host Jeopardy.
Ugh.
I think it'd be fun.
He already ruined Family Feud. You want to ruin Jeopardy too?
Hey, I'm your man, Steve Harvey. But I got a good one for you tonight. I like Steve Harvey, man.
Kennedy said, "My dad has a crush on the P90X guy." Then she also added, "But I didn't say it." Neither did I. I didn't say it either, Kennedy. I promise. Hey, let me tell you about MyBookie. It's time to start winning with free money from MyBookie when you sign up with promo code Woodward. They have all the games, and you can bet any way you want. Parlay, straight, against the spreads, thousands of lines and prop bets on all games. But you have to take the initiative. Do yourself a favor and sign up today with promo code Woodward. They'll match your first deposit up to $1,000. That is free cash credited to your account instantly on top of your deposit. The best part is you always have access to the action, whether you're at home or on the go. Visit the website online or on your phone at mybookie.ag and use promo code Woodward to grab yourself a deposit bonus. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. You guys having a funny conversation about Kim Kardashian on the Facebook. When we come back, I have to tell you, my opinion on Kim Kardashian changed over the years, and I'll tell you why. This is Woodward Sports.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10 and a half months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
Hire a graduate
of Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
All right, Kennedy was making fun of me, as she's apt to do, for being incredibly non-hip, and she's not wrong. But we were talking about fat, not FAT, dump truck fat. We were talking about PHAT, and there's a difference, right?
And you know the difference.
I don't know the difference. Are you kidding me? I don't.
Let me start making fun of you then.
Okay, I don't. But here. Okay, so somebody brought up Kim Kardashian, right? And Kennedy said, Steven, we know you like that Kim K donk. Steve said, not for me, too much. The ratio is off. I have to, full disclosure. My opinion on Kim Kardashian's hotness changed when I saw a particular video. There, I said it. I don't know if you guys watched that particular video that came out about 10 years ago. I don't know, even longer than that. My opinion on her changed after I saw that video.
What video are you talking about, Sean?
There was a video of her and what was it? JJ.
Ray J.
Who? Ray J. J. Ray.
Ray J.
Yeah,
Brandy's brother.
Once I saw that video,
I have not seen it.
Yeah, once I saw that video, my opinion of Kim changed dramatically. As a matter of fact.
Damn. So you had to see her doing some dude to turn you on.
Yeah.
So you're a third party guy.
I couldn't get past how annoying that whole Kardashian thing is. I can't get past it. Just the whole, they have just been, God bless them, they're great business people. They've made so much money off of stupidity. God bless America. So I couldn't get past all of that. And I guess I never really looked at her. And once I saw that video, yeah.
I can just see Sean looking at it like game film. Like he didn't like the prospect till he saw him on the field.
Right.
And now all of a sudden, after that performance, first round draft pick.
And I need a replay.
She moved into the first round, though. Stick, you're absolutely right. She moved. Now, am I going to waste a lottery pick on her? No. But if she's there in the first round, middle of the first round, if I move down and get some draft capital, Yeah, I'd pick Kim Kardashian for sure.
There was a certain sex tape that came out recently with a sports guy. And the way that he was acting in the video made me so uncomfortable that I can't look at him the same now. So the exact opposite reaction of the Kardashian for me would be the Portnoy video. I don't know if you've... It was in the group chat. And
I don't watch that stuff. That's for you young people.
Yeah, you guys said that was very disturbing.
Right, but that's
I'm not being funny. That was disturbing.
So like you could watch a Kardashian film and you're like, she performs or whatever. But that Portnoy, that creeped me out. It creeped me out.
Terry, did you hear about that?
I heard about it. But
It was. That was one of those things. I got to be honest. I watched about 2 seconds of that, and then I was like, "This is really sick."
Was it a sex tape? A sex tape?
Seemed pretty normal to me.
It was. He was degrading this female, and it was just. It wasn't. I'm not being PC. There was nothing.
No, Terry, I'll be blunt about it. He was holding her by a leash and spitting in her mouth.
Yeah, it was just...
That's not my thing.
Yeah, sorry.
And what's normal about that?
Tuesdays? It's spit in your mouth day, sweetheart. No, I mean, some chicks dig that, man. Like, you used to famously, right, put that bitch on a leash. Wasn't that one of your quotes? He literally put that bitch on a leash.
Nah, it said let the bitch walk.
Oh, okay.
Remember that.
No leash, just let her ass
just
go
let her go.
away.
All right.
Get out of my life.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with, if the chick's cool with it, I'm cool with it.
Well, yeah, but it's just like for it to be released to the public, I was like, I don't want to see. And now I look at him in a different light. I'm like, dude's an animal. Like, listen, what you do in your bedroom is one thing. Once it's released to a public, then kind of people can judge on that. I mean, we judge on Kim Kardashian. I just felt it was like... Yeah,
I don't enjoy his shtick. Period.
Yeah,
it's just not for me. But
it added to it, didn't it? It made it like, oh wow.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. He really is El Presidente. But I just don't. That's not my cup of tea.
No, I can ruin all of your days. Now, this thing actually has a name for it, but there's some dudes that like to lay down and have a glass plate, like 4 or 5 inches above their face, and have the woman poop on the plate.
Oh, a Cleveland steamer.
Hot lunch?
See this guy? No.
Yeah, you mean a Cleveland steamer? Yeah.
I'm like, there's a name for this. I don't know what it is. This guy here just know. Oh yeah, Cleveland steamer.
Stick didn't have to Google that one.
No, you didn't.
I think another word. I know another word for it is hot lunch.
Okay.
That's different. Yeah. Same thing. Different.
Just.
That's sick, though, man. Oh, when's the last time you did a Cleveland steamer?
When was the last time I was in Cleveland?
Hello.
Oh my goodness!
It's a sport.
Hey, Art, why do you get mad when we're being mean to our local teams? Maybe we can dive into that a little bit.
I've noticed with Terry that if you say anything that is a little bit off, he latches on. And I respect you for that, Terry. I think that you pinpointed me on this. What I will say is this. The Lions, as much as they suck, as much as they may continue to suck, you got to love and embrace the home team. That's all that I'm saying. I feel like even on this network, there's certain people that really beat them down. And although I understand that, critiquing ways and maybe being a little harsh about it, I feel like you have to, at the end of the day, support where you come from and support your people that are on the front lines.
Can I say this, though? This is a both things can be true situation, okay? All right? One can simultaneously say the Lions are the worst franchise in the National Football League, and I love the Lions. It is absolutely, positively possible to do that.
Let me give you a scenario. This weekend, Stick and I were watching UFC 261, and I know that we're going to cover this, but I just want to show the picture real quick, okay? This is Chris Weidman snaps his leg while kicking Uriah Hall. The kick was blocked.
That's so disgusting.
I was so upset for Chris Weidman because I had followed his career, okay? So when I look at the Lions and I see what they've been through as an organization, I can't sit here and say, F the Lions, they're the worst. I sit here and say, I'm still here for you. And I still respect you as an organization, and I want you to do well. I'm not gonna piss on you while you're down.
But can I ask you this, though? This goes back to what we talked about last hour, okay? why do you get mad at Terry or Sean or whoever the case may be if they're spitting facts about your team? Like, why? Like, I go through that with Michigan fans. Like, what are you mad at me for?
Because I don't want to hear it. I know what the facts are. I don't want to hear it. I want to know that, like, at the end of the day, I could support those people on the field because they're athletes and they do something that I don't do.
And you still can, no matter what Terry says, no matter what Sean says, no matter how bad the team is, you can still support those teams. It's amazing.
You can say, I love my Lions. Now, they're a little subpar. They're still my team. What's wrong with that?
I feel like what it is it's the same thing that, Terry, you had talked about. Like, there's no way I could beat Joik in a fight. There's no way Stick could handle a tackle from Sue. They're doing something that we can't. Now, I'm not saying that we can't be a little hard on them. You have to be. But I feel like that doesn't change the narrative. The Lions are still going to suck. Like, it's part of life. So why would you sit there and continue to be harsh when you could look at they're a resilient team that has continued to come out onto the field year after year?
I will say this. Why do they continue to be mediocre?
Thank you.
Why do they continue to lose playoff games?
It's not my fault.
Why do they continue to draft tight ends or defensive backs third in the draft?
But you can't be the same. You can't be the same way when they're great. You can't say I knew it all along. No.
You know what? Art, this comes back to something that and Terry, you probably learned this long before I did. This is one thing it took me a few years to figure out in this business, and it's really very simple. Okay, if a team does something good, you know what you should do? You should say they did something good. If a team did something poorly, you know what you should say? They did something poorly. It's not as difficult as people make it because their widow hearts are involved.
I will give you credit, Sean, because you said if the Lions come out and they have a positive season, I will sit back and say, you know what? I was wrong.
Oh, I'll be for the first guy, I promise you.
Yeah, being a realist about this situation, though, you can't. I feel like the years and years that you guys have endured of being, Lions fans, and myself included, you watch them shit every single year. Then it gets to a point to where they're successful. I think you see a whole lot of people jump on that bandwagon, but those people were so harsh back in the day that they don't deserve to be on that bandwagon.
See, and this is my biggest problem. And Stick and I had this conversation a couple months ago. I cannot stand the glorification that we have over shit years around here. Hooray, we went 9-7. Well, who gives a shit?
Oh, God, here we go again.
No, I'm serious. I mean, shouldn't we? Oh, this is one thing that we should all agree on, regardless of who the coach is, regardless of who the coach, like, want more. This is a franchise that has given us nothing. They have given us, admittedly, given us nothing. So for me, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm not going to celebrate 9-7 around here. I'm just not.
No, and I'm not telling you to celebrate mediocrity by any means, but I'm just saying the same people that are harsh, that are so hard on the Lions and, they're the worst organization ever. If they end up making it to the playoffs this year, let's be honest, it's not going to happen, okay? Or even in the next couple years, you can't be the same person that was like, yeah, I told you all along. That's not how it works. Now, I'm not saying...
I'm going to say finally.
Yeah.
Finally. But to me, making the playoffs doesn't mean anything.
No, but you guys have dealt with...
Bad franchises make the playoffs 3 out of 10 years.
Yep.
You got to win some playoff games.
Yep.
I feel like you guys have been so hurt that it's hard to admit that you might be being a little harsh. I'm going to be honest. I
am harsh. And I should be harsh because they suck.
Okay, are you talking about, define a little harsh? Are you talking about my feelings about this team right now, or are you talking about my feelings about this team during my lifetime?
I feel like sometimes, and a lot of people on this network do it, and it's nothing wrong, you put feelings in front of facts. And I could bring up the debate, that you and Stick have had. There are some issues of, I'm going to say my quarterback because I'm hurt and he's hurt me, but he's better and this and that. I just feel as though if you're going to support a team, you need to support them fully. That doesn't mean that you can't give constructive criticism, but there's a lot of harshness. I mean, like the bags over the heads, we know we suck.
Okay.
Okay, let me give you full disclosure. I do not support the Lions, and I will never support the Lions. I'm not a Lions fan. I'm a Lions observer. So if the Lions make the Super Bowl, the only reason I might be on Woodward waving a pom-pom is to have fun. It's not because I care that the Lions are in the Super Bowl. I care about having a good time that day because I know there's going to be a bunch of drunk people out there having a blast.
No, I feel like if you spent the majority of your life hating on something, not saying you shouldn't be allowed out there, but that's a weird angle to take.
Are you hating on something, or are you being realistic about what this franchise has been?
I feel like there's a very, 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 and you see it with athletes. When they do interviews and someone comes on a little harsh to them, they're like, listen, I'm the one out on the field. So there's a very thin line.
Well, and it's interesting because in art, this goes back to people like Terry and I, okay? Now put yourself in people like Terry and I's position, okay?
Decades of hurt.
No. I'm talking about we have been either on the radio or on the television or a newspaper talking about these teams, okay? And we are called every name in the book if we say that the 2008 Lions are really going to stink, okay? And we are bombed. And I don't think you understand. Terry, I know you've talked to some of the texts or tweets or emails that come in, you almost sit back and laugh that people are that upset about your stupid words about their teams. But you know what the interesting thing is? You never, and I mean never, hear back from these people when the season's over. Never. And when I say, listen, never. You never hear back from Little Art, who sent me an email the first week of September and badmouthed me every single possible way and told me if he ever sees me in public, I better look over my shoulder. So when the year ends, and the Lions go 4-12 or Al Avila, the magic hasn't happened yet, you never hear back from those people.
And if you do run into Little Art, he's running the other way because he doesn't want to face you.
But do you feel it's that we've experienced what championship feels like with the Pistons and with the Wings and everything like that? And I understand harsh criticism, but at the same time, Terry, it's shocking to me that you're like, I'm not a Lions fan. That's crazy to me. But I feel like it's because of the years and years and years of just being hurt.
Terry,
I'm not hurt.
Terry,
I don't care what they do.
Did you grow up a Lions fan? Because I used to have this conversation with Tom Kowalski all the time, the late Killer Kowalski. Tom told me at some point in time when he was on the beat, he stopped being a fan. He looked at it as a job. He stopped being a fan. And 1,000%. Here's the difference between a guy like Tom and I. I can't turn off my fandom, like completely turn it off. I can't. I openly admit it. What I can do is do my very best to look at a team objectively. And I don't think anybody's ever going to get on me for not bashing on this franchise. But were you ever a fan? Like growing up?
When I was a kid.
Young Terry Foster?
Yeah, I mean, I still am hurt. Well, not anymore, but I was hurt by the stupid Tom Dempsey 63-yard field goal. It ruined my whole day. I was a kid. I was going to go out and play. And, you know, we're going to play street football. And the Lions won this game against New Orleans. Then this fool kicks a 63-yard field goal. Ruined my day. But when you are in the position I was, writing about the team, critiquing the team, you can't be a fan. Because if you're a fan, you're always going to forgive that team. And you're not going to tell the truth.
Yeah.
So you have to divorce yourself as being observers. For instance, what do they always say? No cheering in the press box. So I never cheered, and
you wouldn't believe how often it happens. Don't shake your head. You wouldn't believe how often it happens.
How can you not celebrate what you're covering?
You can't in the press box, man. You're
that's
working.
Bullshit, though, because that's what makes
professional.
It's professional.
But that's what makes Woodward Sports different. I will call out a fighter and be like, don't gas out in the third round like you did. But if he wins, I'm going to celebrate. I'm going to be cheering. Like, we're doing the watch parties, okay? I can't sit there and say, Thug Rose just got a first-round knockout. That was incredible. No, I'm going to sit there and say, fuck yeah, I wanted her to win. But you have to be there through the ups and downs. That's all that I'm saying. The harsh criticism, sure, you can criticize. But you have to still support your team to me. That's your home team. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's for people who are plumbers. That's for people who are policemen. That's for people who are arts. That's for stick. That wasn't for me. Because I was in the press box, I was in the locker room, and I can't be carrying a pom-pom in there.
But isn't there a balance? Isn't there a balance to where, like, listen, I'm admittedly a fan of the Lions, but I know when they suck, you know, but I celebrate when they're 5-0, and I don't bash them, but I talk ill about them when they're 0-5. Like, the first video that this network kicked off was me screaming in my car after they blew that first game, like, it's too early for this. I'm not ready for this. Like, It was supposed to be a new season, and That's real reporting too.
Right.
That is true. But if you're a guy like Art and never criticize them, then Malahala, be quiet. It means no matter what they do, you support it. And if everybody was like that, guess what they're going to do? Nothing. They're just going to roll the ball out. They'll continue to make bad drafts. They don't care if they win or lose because they know they got you. You're still going to buy the sweatshirts and the T-shirts and cheer and show up to the game. They don't have to do anything.
I feel as though, I guess with fighting, it's different because the people that you're covering could literally beat the shit out of you. So it's a little different. So when I criticize John Jones as a person and what he does in his off octagon antics, then I'm being a realist and I'm giving that harsh criticism. But I feel like what Stick said is right. You can criticize and you can give constructive criticism and be harsh, but you also, at the end of the day, can support them for doing something that I personally can't do.
All right, you like MMA, right?
Yeah.
What if your favorite MMA fighter is just kicking ass, right? Mm-hmm. Then he's going out, partying, raping women, and beating up people in public.
No, that's a different form.
Wouldn't you criticize that?
Yeah, absolutely. John Jones is a great instance, but that's to me, I could celebrate his in-octagon performance, but I can dismiss his outside the octagon.
Do you know, I want to get back to something that I have made fun of for literally 5 years, okay? I am convinced beyond a shadow of a doubt that the average sports fan wants to be lied to. I'm convinced. That is an undeniable truth that I have learned in this business. I'm not being funny. They want to be lied to. They want to be told, look at how pretty my unicorn is. Look at that is the prettiest rainbow on the block, okay? And I'll give you an example, something I've made fun of for at least 5 years. The Miguel Cabrera's in his best shape of his career. It's a lie. And you know what? You have people out there openly, willingly peddling this lie, creating low-hanging fruit. And what happens is then you have people go, did you see those pictures of Miguel Cabrera? And I go, what the fuck are you looking at? What are you looking at?
In his defense, he does look great. He hasn't had a beer in 3 months.
Yeah, right, man.
That's all.
Stop it.
I'll give you one final example. There's this fighter that I'm obsessed with. He was on a 13-fight win streak. His name is Tony Ferguson. He's now on a 2-fight skid, and he's got another fight coming up. When I report about him and when I get up on stage and we're doing the Art of Combat, I say, this hurts my heart to see. I don't want to see this guy lose again. But if he loses again, I'm going to say, what the fuck were you thinking, dude? You did this wrong, this wrong. But it's my armchair opinion because at the end of the day, I'm not in that octagon. I don't know what it's like to be punched in the face.
But you're still criticizing him.
Oh, yeah, but I'm not going to give harsh criticism because I'm not doing what he's doing. That's the difference.
Oh, okay, so we can criticize the Lions, but we can't be too harsh.
I feel like there's a thin line because at the end of the day, you're not catching that ball and you're not running those plays. But I would be a fool to sit here and say that I'm not harsh on the people that I admire and respect as athletes because I do the same thing.
Well, what people do, whether they want to admit it or not, is they move the goalposts and things that they said 2 years ago in their earnestness to want to believe that this is different, that they're going to change what their expectations were 2 years later. I mean, it's just Michigan and Jim Harbaugh. You're in year 3 and you haven't won a damn thing. And everybody was talking about year 1 winning the Big Ten. Well, maybe we won't win the Big Ten in year 1, but Natty in 2016. And so when you point this out, you know what people do? Terry Foster, you're a hater. Sean Baligian, you're a hater. Wait a second. I'm a hater because I'm calling you out for moving the goalposts? For changing what your expectations were because they haven't been met? I'm sorry. I think that's loco stuff.
I'll say this, okay? You two have covered the sport way longer than I have. You've seen the ups and downs of each organization. And right now, for the most part, we're in a slump. What I'm saying is this, though. At the end of the day, we all represent the city of Detroit. We all represent these sports teams. Although you can criticize harshly and you could say they're the worst organization, blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, we represent that community. That's what I'm saying. So I don't want to be harsh for something that, like, I represent every sports team in Detroit because I'm a fan. I don't understand why this is hard to understand.
No,
Sean.
I feel the exact same way. Both things are true. I can represent Detroit. I could walk around with a Tiger cap on down in the Florida Keys. And when somebody says, hey, how are the Tigers going to be this year? They suck and have a clueless general manager.
But how long can you do that for?
And you know what?
Until they get better.
The worst sports fans are the ones that let everything slide. Because you have no expectations. You put no demands on the team. And here's what the team is going to do. We're just going to do the same thing we've been doing because it's cost prohibitive. We don't have to make moves. We can continue to be mediocre because Art is still a loyal fan. He bought our sweatshirt, our T-shirt, and our hat and bought damn season tickets. So what do we have to do anything? You talk about loyalty. Teams are not loyal to you. What has any of these teams done for you?
That is true. I will admit. Hey, look at Sean. Look at Sean.
They were sleeping with somebody else.
They were, and they'll continue to sleep with somebody if you don't say anything.
Let me wrap this all the way around. If the Lions were to offer you, this is going to be bad, I know it is. If the Lions were to offer you $1 million to choose another team to be a fan of for the week, I know you two would in a heartbeat switch. I can't do that.
No way. I can't do it. You're wrong about me.
Terry would take your money.
You're 100% wrong about me. You're 100. Art, full disclosure, I literally tried to quit this team about 20 plus years ago, and it was a miserable failure. I'm serious. It was like I tried that. I'm going into the season. I'm not even going to watch. I'm going to turn on the AFC game today. Wrong.
You know what?
I wish I could quit
Give me lunch at the Chinese buffet. I'm out of here.
Stop it. They make your life exciting.
Terry, you asked a question. And honestly, for the sake of this question, I never like fact check myself. I think I know off the top of my head. Art, screw the last break because we're done in a couple minutes anyway. You said who was the last Detroit sports team to have a winning record?
Yes. Do you know that answer?
My guess is the 2017 Lions.
You are correct. That
I swear to God, I didn't look it up.
That is an indictment of how bad things are.
100%.
When is the last time you could say the last winning team was the Detroit Lions? And, of course, they went on to the playoffs and got their asses kicked.
Well, that was the year, remember, they lost to Cincinnati on Christmas Eve and blew the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they went 9-7 2 years in a row. 1 year got in the playoffs, 1 year missed the playoffs. Guys, that's 4 years ago.
Right.
Think about that. Think about that. So when I hear people say, is this the worst streak we've ever been in? Yes, it is. Absolutely. This is a terrible streak for our teams.
Do you feel that these streaks change the city? Like, I feel like it encourages that harsh criticism, and it's deservingly so. If that's how you want to be as a sports fan.
You're a perceptive guy, do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. It changes the city. It changes the attitude. It changes the way people walk around here. I mean, when everything is going well, Pistons are in the playoffs, challenging for playoff, for championships, the wings for Stanley Cups.
The city's never better.
And yeah, people walking around like badasses. You can't talk to them because they'll kick your ass if you're from another city.
That's true.
So we get that attitude. Now it's like people are like looking over their shoulder like they have nothing to celebrate. So yeah, it does, because this is a sports town. Not a college basketball town, but it's a sports town.
Sure.
And they care. Go out to the West Coast and say your team hasn't had a winning record in 4 years. They're like, so?
They don't care.
Yeah. I got
Seriously.
my ocean. I got my mountains. I don't care. Here, you like people freak out.
It's our DNA. Honestly, it's part of our DNA.
I feel like sports is the number one escape. Like, it really is. I mean, when you think of what could I do to not think about politics, my home life, the house could be on fire, but the Lions are on. But
That's
I
right.
feel like that's good and bad, because when we do have those 0-16 teams, like you said, it's like a black cloud over the city, and that lingers for years and years and years. So I understand both of your inputs when it comes to the harsh criticism.
There was a time, towards the end of the Tiger run, like I always said, Terry and I were spoiled because we saw a championship. There were generations of Tiger fans, including my son, that never got their championship. And I wanted them so desperately to get that payoff. I'm not joking. Towards the end of that run, it dictated my mood. Like circa 2013 in that series against the Red Sox, there were so many things in that series that happened. The series wasn't over with the big Poppy Grand Slam. It just wasn't. There were so many things that happened after that where I kid you not, that dictated my mood for a few weeks. And it's kind of
like
sick
the
when you think
Tigers
about
do
it.
something once per generation.
Yeah.
68, 84, went to the World Series in 6 and 12.
Mm-hmm.
So, like every 20-something odd years, they do something.
13 was the best chance for me, and honest to God, I mean this. I wanted my son to watch a championship. Like I got a chance when I was a kid. And honestly, it wasn't even about me. It was like, give my son one championship. This is his favorite of the 4 teams, and of course they didn't. So yeah, it dictated my mood. Terry, you'll be back in on Thursday?
Yes, if
Excellent.
they allow me.
Yeah, 1,000%. Art, thank you. Stick doing like quadruple duty around here. Thank you. Fish, we love you. Hope you're back soon, buddy. In the meantime, have yourself a fantastic day. We'll see you tomorrow right here on Woodward Sports.